Everybody good? All right. Well, this morning at 2:45, the sheriff's office was dispatched to a location on Old Charlotte Road, named the Old School Sports Bar and Grill. Our officers arrived about 6 minutes later at 2:50. When they arrived, we found a total of 10 victims in the club or at the club, or that had been flown out. I think 2 was deceased at the location, 4 was airlifted out to different medical facilities, and the other 4 were treated at a local medical facility here. We're in the process of this time for interviewing witnesses and people that were present when this incident took place to try and find out exactly what took place, the reason it took place, and we want to encourage anyone else that was present to make contact with us so we can speak with them and see what they saw or heard or can tell us. We do have leads on a suspect at this time. We're in the process of doing all we can with this person. The thing we can tell you at this time is that we were told, or we have heard, there's been an ongoing beef between one of the victims and the person of interest or the suspect that's been going on for a couple of months now. And when they showed up at the local sports bar and grill is when things got violent. I know one of the questions may be, is this a mass shooting? And I'll just say up front that I don't think all of these people were intended victims. Most of them were at the wrong place at the wrong time. I believe it was one person targeting another, and you know, unfortunately, victims shot. All right, any questions?
There's another person trying to get out.
I think there was a 11th person that was treated at the medical facility that was not shot, that I maybe twisted an ankle, hurt their leg or something like that, trying to get out of the facility.
Is this the first time shots have been fired at this bar?
Not the first time we have received calls about shots being fired. For this year, we've answered 5 or 6, 7 calls at that location.
Did this happen inside or outside?
Inside.
And did it carry on outside? Because I saw some bullet markers or some markers out across the street.
Well, as people were leaving the location, we did hear there were shots fired on the outside. And of course, we have crime scene up there still processing the scene.
Any surveillance video?
We do have some surveillance video.
Releasing it?
Hmm?
They're going to be releasing it?
Not today.
What about the surviving victims? Do you have any updates on their conditions?
Not at this time.
Are they all expected to survive?
We hope. We think so.
The folks that passed away, were any of either of those 2 among the folks that were part of the dispute?
One of them was, yes.
We've heard from some people that this bar had been closed for a while. Do you know how long it's been reopened?
I didn't know they were closed. No, I didn't know they were closed.
Some sort of beef, like maybe some sort of diss song, or can you say anything else about a beef?
Well, I would rather not. We do have some ideas and have some information of what the beef would have been about, but I'm not going to say it this time.
And it was between those 2, maybe 2 men?
2 people, 1 victim, and the person of interest we're looking for.
Do you know, can you say anything about the person of interest? Or
I can't at this time.
What about the identities of those who passed away?
No, sir. You speak with the coroner. I think the coroner sent something out, didn't she?
Was this gang related?
Not that I'm aware of.
So are you just looking for one shooter, that person of interest, or is there do you believe there could be multiple?
Well, we want to speak to as many people as we can, and if there's more to develop, we certainly want all we can get. But we do have a person of interest that we're looking for that we think is responsible for shooting.
Any idea of what kind of gun was used in this?
Not at this time. We got some ideas, but I'm not going to mention it this time.
I believe there was another shooting incident earlier this year at the same location. Is it a concern about criminal activity in that area?
Well, not so much in that area. We have had some concerns with that sports bar and grill. But this year, I think we've had 2 2 calls for service that involved shootings, and one was last night.
Do you think the suspected shooter is still in Lancaster County?
We're not sure.
Pretty troubling for your community.
Oh, absolutely. This is a tragedy. We certainly don't want things like this to happen. There's good people here in Lancaster County. It's unfortunate that we got folks that should be in jail and not on the street.
You use the term mass shooting. We've seen this time and time again. Seems every other day it's happening somewhere else. Just thinking that this has now happened here in this community. What are your thoughts on that?
Well, anytime someone gets shot is a tragedy. We don't need people out there shooting and causing trouble or causing harm to anyone. That's why it's important for us when we make these cases that people go to jail, we get them off the street and take them out of society.
The suspect, can you say whether they're from the area?
Yes, ma'am.
They are from the area.
Have you asked for any outside help?
We have. We're working with the State Law Enforcement Division along with the City Police Department. Probation, Pardon, and Parole Service is also assisting us.
Does that mean the suspect was on probation or parole potentially?
No, sir.
So, are guns allowed in this establishment?
Shouldn't be, no.
So, arrived on the scene within 6 minutes. I'm sure it was just chaos.
Absolutely.
How many people were in the club?
I don't have a number. It was a lot.
When you get to a scene like that, you got bodies on the ground, you got people running in every direction. How do the officers determine who's a threat at that time? How is that approached?
Well, until it gets under control, everything's a threat. It's important that we be able to separate people, speak with people, and separate victims from witnesses and put them in different places so we can find out what took place.
A couple of years ago, you guys had sort of a spate of shootings in the area, and some SLED officers were brought in to kind of beef up patrols. Are those SLED officers still here helping you guys out?
Now, we work with SLED pretty much on a daily basis, but say they're up there beefing up patrol, no.
You believe it was just one gun used in the shooting?
I can't say at this time.
Was this like a younger crowd, like young adults, or is this?
Young adults.
What is
All right.
what is the crowd or the clientele usually like at this bar? Is it usually a younger crowd?
It is.
Was there any delay in airlifting the victims out, getting them out?
Not that I'm aware of.
And I know you
Okay.
said you don't have a condition for some of the victims. I know we, 2 have died already. Are any of them in life-threatening condition?
I can't answer that at this time. I'm not sure.
How concerned should people in Lancaster County be right now since this potential murder is on?
I don't think this is an incident where folks have to be worried. Of course, we certainly want this person caught, but I believe it was a beef between 2 individuals who showed up at the same place. Things turned violent, and there were several others who got shot that were at the wrong place at the wrong time, is what we think.
What message do you want to send to people
Yeah.
that actually want to use guns instead of maybe talking it out?
Well, unfortunately, these folks that we're dealing with shouldn't have guns to begin with. They're prohibited from having guns to begin with. So we certainly want people to be able to protect themselves, but we just need folks that are responsible for committing violent crimes and get them off the street. That's our goal today.
Why should they have
Yeah.
guns?
They're state or federally prohibited for previous charges,
So they have
previous convictions.
previous convictions. Who does?
Some of them that were involved that we're looking for.
How
Okay.
frustrating is it, you say some people were just in the wrong place at the wrong time. There's somebody that has a beef with one other person, and then they're just spraying up like there's no other people to be concerned about. As a member of this community, as a member of law enforcement, how frustrating is that to see that lack of morality, I guess?
Well, it's absolutely frustrating. When we get a call at 2:45 in the morning, there's been 10 people shot just because one person can't get along with the other. They turn to guns and just go in there and victimize several. Here we got 10 families that's involved. It's just a tragedy, terrible. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Sheriff.
And did you say and spell your name for us, Sheriff, one thing? Please.
Barry, B-A-R-R-Y, Fail, F-A-I-L-E.
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.